Hello and welcome back to The Broken Doll. I come to you today with a question from Sara Cole, who asked a wonderful question, and what the question was is this: what material would you use to make a doll body with? And she even said, would you use muslin? Yes, I would. That's my bottom common denominator. I would use muslin. But we know there's a numerator on top. And what does the numerator tell us? Well, I saw back some time ago, and it's been a while, that I saw this on, okay, I'm not going to say where because I can't remember. I'm only going to guess, but I think it was YouTube, or it was eBay. I saw a doll where the body was made out of a nice cotton material with roses on it. And I just went, oh my goodness, that's so sweet, that's cute. But what you have to remember is that you can dress your doll in roses, but that body will always have roses on it. So every time you change it, you're going to see the roses pop through maybe on something white. So if you don't mind that, that's fine. Your doll can wear a nice cotton material. But again, I always say depending on size. I'm going to put that in there. So anyways, I brought out a whole bunch of material here. But first we're going to look at bodies. This here is a pattern of some material made out of this. There's different grades to muslin. Maybe this is the way I should start off. I first have, this is muslin material. It's very light, and it's really great for dolls that I would suggest. Now these are my suggestions, because people will do different things. So I can only suggest, and this is what I follow myself, anything underneath 20 inches, especially, I'm going to say for myself, you know, around the 9, what do you want to say? I don't know how small dolls can get that you need a muslin body for, but let's say 2 inches, an inch. You make a little tiny body like that, which I would not want to make because my eyes and my fingers would not work well. But from the tiniest little body up to, I would say, about 15 inches, you could use this material. Though there would be some that would do otherwise, they can use it up to 20 inches. That's your preference, but I'm only going to tell you what I do. I would cut it off myself anywhere under 16 inches. And there's a reason why. We'll go to the next material and then we'll talk about why. Now here's a medium grade of muslin. Okay, muslin material is like a canvas. You have a light canvas, you have a medium grade canvas, and then you have a little bit stronger of a canvas. Now canvas can go right up into tents. That's what they make tents with, and other things that they can make canvas with, you know. Canvas coats and whatnot, you know. All right, but anyways, but we're using the low end of the muslin strand up to tents, and where it's really tough stuff. So anyhow, this is a medium grade. Now I would use this from 20 and up to about maybe 24 inches. You know, all your 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, you can use this. Now, there are others that would use this even higher. Your preference again. We will talk about why in a minute. Then underneath, I have my stronger stuff right here. This stuff is stronger. It's really tough stuff. It's a little bit more. Now this is why this is where I would use this on dolls 24 and maybe to 30 inches. I don't have any dolls bigger than that. I think my biggest is 27, maybe 29, maybe. Okay, so this is where I would use that. Now let's talk about why I would use these on certain bodies. Well, we're looking at stress on the material and what you're filling it with. I fill my dolls with cotton. Now I have washed old cotton from out of the dolls. I'm not doing that anymore. I did it and I made a mess out of my little laundry bags, which I had to go buy new ones because I couldn't get the cotton out. It went all through my dryer. Had to have my dryer thing all cleaned out. Never again. No, not for me. So I tried to wash the old cotton up. Didn't work for me. It came out nice and fluffy. That old cotton is old. Now, it can be washed. You can dry it. I just don't, like my suggestion, don't put it in your dryer. But I had it in laundry bags. I had them in double laundry bags, and it still made a mess. The best thing to do is buy new. And I had a brand new bag of raw cotton sitting here, and this is my raw cotton right here, and I have it sitting right here, brand new stuff that I can take and stuff a doll with. But the thing is, when you're stuffing your doll, it takes a lot of power down. Like, you're really going to stuff tight, especially if your doll is a standing doll, and you want to push down into those seams, and you want to make sure first of all that you've really sewn your body up well. And this cotton is going to push down on that seams, and you're going to push with as much as you can, because you want that doll to stand very well. The legs are probably toddler legs or little girl legs there, and it's going to hold that body up. And especially if it's a bigger doll. I'm talking about the big ones there. Like I've got some great big 27-inch ones that need new bodies and everything. So a lot of cotton is going to go down, a lot of stuffing, and you want to push down on that stuffing. So your seams have to be sewn well. The material has to be able to take the strength of that, and to take the strength of that doll standing over time, over years of standing and standing and standing. You remember, you got to glue on a chest plate of a head on there, so you got that weight sitting on top of that body. So you don't want no wrinkles in the body. You want it nice and stiff as much as you can, as much as you can push it down. You're going to also, if you want to replace your crier, there's got to be a place for the crier at the back so the sound can come through the material. And again, you got to stuff all around that. So that's why I'm saying, for bigger dolls, stronger material, for those reasons. Even if it's a baby that's sitting, that baby is still going to have a chest plate. Not all, but some have a chest plate that's going to be sitting on that body. And I've seen bodies starting to buckle, old bodies. So what happens with the old bodies is the cotton is starting to deteriorate. It's starting to get old. It's starting to fall downward. And it's not holding the body up as much as it used to. Back in the day when it was created, it held the doll really well. But it's not doing that anymore. So now there's wrinkles in the body, and that's because the cotton is all settling down to the bottom. And so this doll's starting to starting to creep over. That can even happen to new dolls, your restored doll, if you don't pack it properly. They can start getting wrinkles in it and starting to just be sluggish looking. You want to make sure you're stuffing that doll as tight as you can all the way down, and your material has to be able to take the strength. Now, the bigger the doll, the more stuffing, the more pushing down on that doll that you're going to do. I mean, it's not horrible pushing, but again, it's got to be able to stand. It's got to be able to sit well. It's got to be able to hold up that chest plate, those arms. The arms are another thing that you got to worry about. It's all about posing that doll in the way that it should be posed. So that's why I'm saying it's not difficult to do. It's just knowing your material and what you want to make it out of. So if I had let's say I'm doing my 27-inch bubbles, I'd be using this material, a little bit stronger material. Now I've got a lot of dolls to do, so that's why I have a lot of material. I have box loads of muslin material, because when one of my stores was going out of business, they brought everything down to 40 to 50% off. I was in there buying a lot of muslin material because I got it so cheap. But now that we have Len's Mills here, I can now buy it also at a very low price, but still not as low as what I got it from the sale. But nice to know that I can get it. And somebody bought that store and opened it up, and I can get all the muslin material there, but I got to pay full price now because it's underneath new ownership now, which I'm so glad, because they're wonderful women in there, and I really like being in there. So anyhow, as it may be though, now that you understand that there's different materials for different dolls, like if you had like a little doll that was 12 inches, this light little material would be great for it, You could go to a medium if you want, but the light material would hold it quite nice, because the body's only so big. It's not the whole doll, it's just part of the doll. So, you can get away. I'm not trying to say that you can get away with it, which means you're not doing the best. No, it can handle it, So the size of your doll is going to do, for me anyways, this is what I do. This is what I follow in myself. How big the doll is, the way, if it's standing, if it's going to be a standing doll, a sitting doll, will determine what material I'm going to use to stuff it. And how big the doll is will determine what material I'm going to use. So again, it's up to you. What grade you use. I leave that always with the next person here. Now I do have some, let me show you here. I do have some old bodies here that are old muslin material, and this is a pattern that I made out of muslin for Trudy here. This is another, I think this is an F&B bubbles body right here. This is one right here. This is another muslin material body, and look how well it is compared to some of these right here. Not all muslin bodies are equal to one another, because all depending on how it was played with, the year it was made into, how old it is, will determine that as well, and how well it was played with and how it was stored. And that will determine how the body is going to last. Material does rot over time, and so does the thread. Sometimes I've seen very good muslin bodies, but the thread is just shot, and it just needs to be resewn again. This is a pattern I was copying for a bigger doll. Here's the material, and you can see how big. Now, if you were to look at this body here, I don't know if you can see it all. Can you see that whole body? Okay, now imagine there's still legs to go down, and there's still a chest plate that has to go on top of that. So this was just a trial error one. This was just trial and error. When I was just learning how to sew. I made the body up for it, but I'm going to make a new one because I'm a little bit better now than I used to be, and a little bit more sure of myself. But again, because of how big this doll was, I used the real tough stuff. So you can see this doll was a pretty big doll, and rightfully so. It deserved the thickest material that I could, like, that doll could handle, you know, to make it stand beautifully. So just showing you just some things that, you know, that I do, you know, like I've done, and, you know, I'm making some bodies here, you know, but this is when I was learning. When I made this body here, I'll let you in on a little secret. I was wondering why I would sew up my body. I had material that I would use. I do trial bodies first, and nothing was turning out right. And I was like, I was doubling it up. I thought, okay, I'll double it and cut it out. I got front and back, but no, there's a front, but then there's a back, and the back of the body has a ledge for the bum. So that doll could sit. If it has a ledge at the back, that doll was either a standing or a sitting doll. It could sit and have a tea party with the little girl, or it could stand and look still very pretty. This is one of my trials, and I was going, why was it not turning out? Because there's a back to the doll, and that back has the ledge on it. I had the ledge put. I should have brought it out, but the ledge has at the back is at the back of the doll there, and I wasn't looking. I wasn't studying it enough, and then that's when I studied it and figured it out, and it was wonderful because I love figuring things out, and I didn't want any help. I wanted to do this on my own, so I kept it off the camera while I was learning it because I didn't want to be told. There's something about learning about something on your own, and then you go, okay, that stays with me forever. And it's like a light bulb goes off in you, and it's like, oh my goodness, I taught myself something. There's just something about that's just, for me anyways, that I find very exciting. But anyways, I wanted to show you that. And my ups and downs and my trials of learning how to make bodies for dolls. I'm still learning, and I'm getting better and better at making them now. I haven't made, like, I won't say I've made a whole lot of bodies, but I've made a good dozen bodies now. I would say about a good 15 maybe bodies I've made, and you've seen from my, I keep patterns from my first ones all the way through. And one day I'm going to take out all my patterns and show you my ups and my oopses and everything, and how I have come along. But this today is about material and learning about your material and what is good for your dolls. Now this is just suggestions of mine. There might be others on here go, no, I've used material for all my dolls, one set of material. And that's okay. I don't. I have different strengths I use for my doll. I'm not going to say this is right for me. And then there's what's right for you. But I do use different strengths of material for my dolls. And I only have the 3. I have a light, a medium, and a stronger one for my bigger dolls. But again, please realize I'm doing a variety of different size dolls, so I will go through this material. It won't take me long, and I'll be boom, boom through a lot of this. All right, I hope that answered your question, Sarah. That's what you would use. No, you know, you go by your size of your doll, you know, so that's how I deal with it. The size of my doll, what is it doing? Is it standing or a sitting? Standing dolls still need a good material, good strength of material, depending on how big it is. If it's just a little doll that's going to sit, you don't need as strong a material. If it's a great big 27-inch doll, I use a thicker material. So there you go. All right. That's that video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be coming back with more. Thanks for joining me. And hit that like button. Subscribe if you like what you just saw here right now. And what's another thing? Subscribe, hit the button. Oh, leave a comment. There it is. My 3 things I gotta say. Okay, there you go. All right. Thanks for joining me, and there's more to come. Bye-bye.